Hey guys, today we're performing our expert overview on the Blackstone 1866 griddle station with hard cover. This is their 36-inch 4-burner griddle. Let's go! We'll begin checking out its build quality by measuring the materials used. The firebox is constructed from 19-gauge cold-rolled steel. The front control panel came in at 16-gauge steel, and the actual griddle plate measured in at a heavy-duty 7-gauge thickness. It's constructed from cold-rolled steel as well. The 4 tube-style burners are constructed of 0.7mm thick 400 series stainless steel, and the included removable hardtop lid came in as 18-gauge cold-rolled steel. Now let's see how well this griddle performed, beginning with temperature testing. First up, our 15-minute preheat with all burners set to high. The griddle's average overall temperature at the end of the test came in at 445 degrees Fahrenheit, which means you can be ready to sear in 15 to 20 minutes. Next, our low temperature evenness test. With all burners set to low for 30 minutes, we got an overall griddle average temperature of 336 degrees Fahrenheit. The measuring site with its temperature furthest from the overall average was in the front right corner, and it was 76 degrees below the griddle's average. That's pretty good. And while we're talking about the griddle's low temperature capabilities at least, I would like to point out that if you did want to achieve lower than our 336 that we found, all you would have to do is turn completely off 1 or 2 of the burners. So you could certainly go lower. I'm just pointing that out. For our high temperature test, we ran the griddle with all burners on high for 30 minutes, and it indicated a griddle overall average temperature of 466 degrees Fahrenheit. This time, the measuring location that was the furthest from the overall average was the back right corner, and it was about 95 degrees off. Again, shouldn't cause any major problems, and we will see that soon during our physical testing. The last thing that we'll look at is only an example of something we did for you guys to have a frame of reference as to what you can expect while using multiple zones on the griddle. There are plenty of ways you could configure this type of cooking, but since time wouldn't allow me to do all the many ways, I decided to test the griddle zones differences by measuring the 4 zones while setting the burners as follows from left to right, which we will call 1 through 4. I set the number 1 burner to high, number 2 to low, number 3 on high, and the far right burner, number 4, was left completely off. The difference of griddle temperature between zone 1 and 2 was 83 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 18% difference. Between zones 2 and 3, there was a difference of 100 degrees Fahrenheit, about 26% difference, and the difference between zone 3 and 4 was about 86 degrees Fahrenheit, about 30% different. I have to admit, I was pretty impressed by how well this zone differentiation came out. Now we'll see how all of these measurements translate in our real-world testing. We began with a burger test by filling the griddle with 24 patties, just to see what this bad boy could do. This is where the thick griddle plate and its heat retention begin to shine. Without that heat retention, the heat recovery from 24 cold patties hitting the griddle all at the same time would have taken quite a bit longer to bounce back. And the result would have been stewed hamburgers instead of the seared all over incredible patties we had. Also, from looking at all of the patties, you can see that the front and back right side corners performed quite well, even though these locations were somewhat lower than the griddle's average temperature. It's always nice to see how these measurements work out once food is introduced. Next, we put Blackstone's griddle to the test with a nice breakfast spread. This is where the different temperature zones become important. We had no problem cranking out eggs and pancakes over a medium-low temperature, while at the same time preparing bacon and hash browns over medium-high. And we had even less of a problem eating all of this grub. The breakfast spread disappeared in about 5 minutes. Zone differentiation temperature testing? Check. I may have also discovered my newfound love for bourbon barrel maple syrup as well. Now we'll try a more savory spread, just for good measure. We put some bell peppers on the far left with a couple of nice steaks next to them. And as for the remainder of the griddle, one of my personal favorites, grilled cheese. Again, the Blackstone 36-inch griddle did not disappoint. The steaks and bell peppers seared up and caramelized nicely, while our delicate grilled cheese sandwiches had a dark golden brown outside with a warm, gooey center. Overall, I was very pleased with the performance of this Blackstone griddle. Now let's have a look at the features. Blackstone's 1866 griddle has 4 tube-style burners that are rated at 15,000 BTUs each for a combined 60,000 BTUs produced for its 769 square inches of griddle plate. It has a patented rear grease management system for easy grease removal and cleanup. The griddle's burners are lit with a push of a button via electronic ignition. Blackstone also has you covered during food prep as well, with the included fold-down side shelves that come with the tool studs for hanging accessories, as well as a magnetic knife strip for keeping extra kitchen tools close at hand. Below the griddle, there is a swing arm paper towel holder and a full-width, sturdy storage shelf. On the side of the bottom storage shelf, they have included a propane tank hanging bracket to ensure your tank remains stable during use. And finally, to keep the griddle plate protected from the elements, there is a removable steel hardtop cover that, when not in use, conveniently hangs as a windbreak on the back of the griddle. For a practical glass griddle, I think Blackstone has covered all of the bases. I hope we've helped shed some light on the ins and outs of Blackstone griddles, and if you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button. For updates on our latest content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.